I love art, and I love the fact that I can relate to so many different kinds of mediums, and I think it appeals to people that come in here. It's a combination of the artists that I have chosen and have chosen me to show their work. It's a rather eclectic mix. I kind of have to do what I call salon style, which means that a lot of work is up. People can see a great deal of varied work at one time, where if you were to go to San Francisco or New York, you might find one artist has had going to be having a show that's up, and so if you like his work, that's great, but if you don't, then you're stuck looking at a show that doesn't really appeal to you. And if you come in here, what you're going to see is a lot of really varied work. So hopefully the people that come to this community as tourists are going to find something they can relate to. I have a number of people, but I think our most famous local artist is a man named David Laguerre. He has been showing in New York for many years. He's been shown in London. He's going to be having a major retrospective at the Crocker next year in 15 that will have a book, and that show will travel to about 3 different museums. So he's probably our most high-profile artist. David uses this wonderful late afternoon light. It rakes across the landscape, it rakes across his still lifes, and it's a particular kind of light. He really gets that California light, but it's the afternoon light, and he uses that in his work. Malin Lager was a treasure that was turned on to me and to the Monterey Museum about the same time. And she's been a woman who's been living in this community for quite a number of years. She spends half a year in Sweden and half a year here. And she's been doing the most amazing work. She's had numerous museum shows in Sweden, and now has had one here. Does portraits, friends, herself, her daughter. But what makes it amazing is when you look at these pieces, you might assume that they're just paintings, and they're not. They're all stitched on a sewing machine, kind of free-handed in a certain kind of way, and then stretched later. But incredible technique, and just breathtaking when you see them in person. Warren and his subject matter, which I think is the most important part of his story, he's been tackling farm workers and the people in the field that we see so often when we're driving around, and somehow we kind of underestimate who these people are. And they're real people. He captures them, he gives them a human face and element, and it becomes much more. I think we get kind of glazed over because we're so used to seeing people working in the fields from this area, but he's really made them into people that we look at and go, oh, that's somebody I might recognize. I have a man named Michael Furman who every year during concourse shoots and comes out here. He has done a number of car collections for people all over the country and all over the world. One of Michael's assistants was rehearsing a 2-person play in what was the location of the Palladium. The Palladium came after Studio 54, which closed. The 2 guys went to prison. When they got out, they opened the Palladium. And this Rolodex, which is a double Rolodex, is a virtual who's who of everybody who was anybody in New York City at that time. It's got the rock and rollers, it's got the fashion people, it's got artists. It's just this incredible combination of, if you were there, you're in the Rolodex. Ethan grew up around here, and his parents had what is now Stone Pine. It was the Russell Ranch. He went over to England early on and started hanging out with the Stones and the Beatles, and was able to kind of just be there very quietly, and got some great shots of all these people in their kind of natural habitat. He credits the fact that he had some hunting background, and he was able to be very still and was able to just be there without interrupting their lives, and so they let him in. And we have amazing pieces. There's an image of John listening to the White Album for the first time. I met Gwen, I think it must have been at least 8 or 10 years ago, and I had seen her work in a magazine and just decided to call up and see if I could get some, because I do. I'll call artists up and see if they're available. And I think she was kind of taken by the whole thing and gave me some work. And since that time, we've sold quite a number of pieces. She works in bronze. She does her animals. They're very pared down. They have a kind of rather Egyptian quality to them. But they have this essence that I think a lot of people kind of miss when they're doing animal sculpture, but she just captures that movement and the feeling, and particularly I think her big cats are just stupendous. 3 years ago, Peter's wife and mother-in-law came in the gallery and said, "Hey, what do you think about doing a tasting bar in the gallery?" And it's like, you know, that's a great idea. And so Peter has come in and set up a beautiful bar, great wines.
I had the opportunity to come into Chris's art gallery about 3.5 years ago. And it's a wonderful symbiotic relationship that we have. I have a couple different Chardonnays and a couple different Pinot Noirs as well as a Syrah. Everything is Monterey based, northern Monterey in particular. So I'm just trying to isolate and showcase the differences between the microclimates that Monterey has to offer.
I am right downtown, probably on the best block, which is Dolores, between Ocean and 7th Avenue. I like this block because it does have about 5 restaurants. It has several tasting bars, including the one that's in here. It's very wide, sunny, and it's a nice combination of different businesses all in one block.
Wingtip is at 550 Montgomery Street at the corner of Clay in downtown San Francisco, right across the street from the Transamerica Pyramid. The club at Wingtip was conceived as a loyalty program for our best customers. It's a place where members can relax, have a drink, have a bite, smoke a cigar, enjoy a glass of wine. Most use it for entertaining family, friends, colleagues, and clients. Wingtip is comprised of 4 floors in the National Historic Landmark space of the Bank of Italy. On the ground 2 floors, we have our retail store where we sell mid to high-end men's clothing, accessories, and gifts. And on the top 2 penthouse floors of the building, we have our private social club that includes a bar, billiards room, boardroom, cigar lounge, and private event spaces. We do also have a restaurant that serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner Monday through Friday. You know, when someone asked Howard Schultz what it was about Starbucks that made it Starbucks, his answer was everything. Meaning that it's the ambiance, it's the product, it's the atmosphere, it's the employees, it's the total customer experience. And I think the same is true at Wingtip. There are plenty of men's clothing stores, cigar stores, liquor stores. There are private social clubs in San Francisco. What makes Wingtip unique is the fact that it's a lot of those things under one roof. And it really is one place for our customer to go to experience all the different things that they enjoy in their lives.
Ferrari's first all-wheel drive car has set the bar for thrill seekers who like to travel with a little extra luggage. The vehicle's distinctive styling elements include a large egg crate grille, defined side skirts, and 4 exhaust tips. Starting at $300,000, only 800 models were produced during the first year. 651 horsepower, this V12 engine has a great look and it's powerful. Buckle up as you will experience 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. There are LCD screens for passengers to view in the back seat. The car has a beautiful leather interior, unlike any other. The steering wheel has modes and options to guide you down any freeway, including the horn and turn signals. When driving in snow, Ferrari recommends keeping the speed under 167 miles per hour. The new four-wheel drive system is called 4RM. It is around 50% lighter than a conventional system and provides power intelligently to each of the 4 wheels as needed. The Ferrari FF is proof that good things come in 4s. The FF, meaning Ferrari 4, has the largest capacity road-going Ferrari engine ever produced.
Carmel was great to grow up in, and actually I lived in Carmel Valley for a while, and one of my fondest memories starting out in Carmel Valley was Carmel Valley Little League. That was the best time of my life. And then my family moved into Carmel and we lived there. I went to Carmel Middle School, Carmel High. I have 2 French bulldogs, 1 boy and 1 girl. The boy's name is Chambéry and the girl's name is Brie, so I had to name, north and south of France. And they're wonderful dogs, wonderful, wonderful breed, and they're homebodies as well. With the exception of liking to go to the beach, they love to just eat, sleep, eat, sleep. Performing arts encompasses the musical theater. From there, I got into acting and training and signed with my first agent in middle school when I was about 13. And you do commercials, you do music videos, industrial, short films, that kind of thing. And I realized I really liked being on set. And so I spent a lot of time in front of the camera, just kind of honing those skills. And then, I think in the entertainment industry, if you're looking at longevity, you need to diversify your skill set. And so I started becoming really interested in the production end of things, like being executive producer. I mean, that's a very vast job on the set. It's a small word, but producers, they tie it all together, bring it all together, bring everybody together. But there really is nothing like live performance. So I still love to perform before a live crowd, a live audience. I still do national anthems for programs or endurance sports or local programs. I still in the music production sector as well. I got into triathlon a couple years ago, and I think people look at the runners that are running half marathons and marathons or even ultra marathons beyond the 26.2 mile distance, and they see triathlons and they think we're crazy. And I think a good part of us, a good group, a percentage of us, I mean, we are crazy for doing 3 sports because 1 is not enough. So it was something that I found that offered a challenge for me as an adult. I've always been athletic, and I think as you get older you find that there are less forums for you to compete in. So it's a really great athletic endeavor to participate in, and it's difficult.
Growing up, singing was a true passion for Jody. She explored this passion by forming a band called Essex. Not only is she an accomplished singer, she's also a pilot. Acquiring her pilot's license was a huge accomplishment and something she worked hard for. When she's not singing or flying, Jody finds herself on the golf course where she focuses on lowering her score and enjoying the fresh outdoors. However, nothing could have prepared Jody for what life threw at her next.
It was my 25th birthday, just after my 25th birthday actually, and I was diagnosed with lymphoma at the time. And this was actually the 4th doctor that I had visited that finally diagnosed me correctly. I'd been to 3 other doctors, 3 other physicians, and it had been misdiagnosed. Nobody could really figure out what it was, and they gave me kind of every excuse, every diagnosis under the sun except cancer. So at one point, when I lived in Napa, I went to a physician there and a general surgeon, and I said, take the lumps out that I found. You know, I know there's a certain order and protocol to removing these things, but let's do a biopsy. Let's just get it done, get them out. So I went in for surgery the next morning at 6 a.m. and they removed all of the lumps and the tissue that they could find, that the surgeon can find. I was in treatment for about a year, and you're typically considered in remission after a 5-year period. So for my 30th birthday, I celebrated. Celebrating my dirty 30, but also I was cancer-free at that point, so it's been 5 years. Oh geez, one word to describe me: fearless. Fearless is the word. I think that's the best way to approach life. Anything you do in life, anyone you meet in life, you need to be fearless. You know, you're gonna have bumps in the road, you're gonna have adversity, you're gonna have obstruction, you're gonna have that sturdy brick wall even, but you have to find a way to get over it, get under it, get around it, get through it. And the only way you can do that is being fearless. You know, take that risk, always take a risk. I'm a total risk taker. I know you can fail, anyone can fail and you're gonna fail, but that's how you get up and get better and just keep on moving.
Towards the end of my career, my job was sending young kids to prison for a lifetime, and you didn't really feel like you were making things better. And so that's why I thought I could take a place and turn some young people's lives around and make a positive influence rather than just locking people up. The property laid here dormant for about 25 years, and it was basically a dump site for the county. And so I kept trying to resurrect the property and start a program here. So I worked with a member of the Board of Supervisors, and we were able to convince them to give me a shot at taking over the property and resurrect it, as we did. We didn't have anybody to run it, and so that's when I stepped off the bench and retired to come and run it.
He said, you know, I'm getting close to retirement. I'm really going to open up this ranch. And, you know, I thought, oh, this isn't what my dream of retirement was. But then I came up here, and you just can't help but get hooked once you come up. Of course, it wasn't anything like you see it today.
Everybody said we couldn't do it. My own feasibility study said it was impossible, but it was all the businesses and the agriculture, but a lot of the construction business that came and donated their time and their labor and their money to turn this place around. So we ran it on a shoestring for 3 or 4 years. It's kind of a unique campus. I don't think there's anything quite like it anywhere in California or the United States for that matter. It's a private-public partnership. We partner with the county in many of things: probation, behavioral health, county education. The thing that makes this place so unusual is we're providing a safe environment to these young people where they can explore the things they haven't had the opportunity to explore. We have art programs, we get music programs, we explore the outdoors, we take them over to the aquarium. We want them to entertain those things and see the possibilities that exist for them in life here.
I was president of 2 professional chefs organizations, and involved with Bert Cotino, who is the co-founder of Rancho Cielo. So he involved me in the planning process of building the culinary school.
When we first came up here, it had been a kitchen at one time, but certainly not a work of art that it is now. It came together through a lot of different people. Bert Catino from the Sardine Factory was very instrumental. Donations, like everything up here. And just to see it go from basically the ground up and to see these kids, you talk about interacting with the kids. They serve you, they cook for you, they have to talk to you. It's a wonderful experience for them, and we meet people up here. And sometimes it's someone's first experience, and it's a wonderful experience.
Rancho Cielo is a breeding ground for excellence in young adults, and the Drummond Culinary Academy is one section that these fortunate individuals will sharpen their skill under Chef Paul Lee.
We are open to the public, reservations only, every Friday night, and the students cook, they prepare, they serve, they work in the dining room, they learn how to cook a steak correctly, how to cook a salmon correctly, and then how to plate it correctly so that when it comes out to the dining room, the customers, before they even taste it, they look at it, and most of them want to take a picture of it.
We have dinners up here on Friday nights, and that's where a lot of the people of the peninsula get to know us, and they come up here for, I think we're #1 on TripAdvisor for the Salinas area, and we make some great dinners.
I'm from Salinas, California, and I kind of got into a rut with school. Like, I was doing really, really bad, and I got put on truancy probation, and my truancy probation officer helped me get into here for because I have a love for cooking. Like, I really love to cook.
I was born here in Salinas, California, and I actually had a stepfather who works at NPCC and was a chef out there, so that's what kind of inspired me to come out here also as well.
The process of getting in here was it was nice. We came in here and they had a bunch of tables set up, and they asked us like simple questions, and they want to make sure, we're not here just to mess around, because they're looking for serious kids.
If a young person comes in and says, I don't want to come here, I don't want to try, I don't want to try to change, we won't take them. And they got to come back later and say, well, I want a chance to change, and I'm willing to come and obey the rules.
They want someone that's going to be like, I'm here, I'm ready to work. They have a lot of expectations for us.
A lot of them have never been told, hey, good job. A lot of them have been told they've done things wrong a lot of their lives. And so I teach them the skill, I show them how to do it, they do it well, I pat them on the back, I give them motivation, I tell them that they own that skill and that I expect them to do that skill every time.
Chef Paul is he's my mentor right now. Personally, I love to cook, but I'm more of a baker, and he's really shown me more the technical part of baking.
Making sure you get the right ingredients and the measurements, putting it all together.
Whipping the sugar and the butter more, and he's a really, really, really good teacher. He doesn't get mad when you mess up. He's like, you're learning right now, I understand, you're gonna mess up sometimes.
We've had many customers, and you can go on TripAdvisor and read the comments from many customers, that they enjoy the food here just as much as any restaurant on the Monterey Peninsula.
The chance to get a job and to be employed is huge to many of these young people. Many of them go on to junior college, go on to college. Many of them are getting jobs. And so when you give them the opportunity and start instilling some self-esteem in them they didn't have before, you see them do great things. And so we have great success. We're one of the few things that's really working in turning these young people who are heading the wrong way the right way.
I hope it continues as it is now. John and I aren't going to live forever, but the people in the community, again, have been so supportive of it. I want it to continue. I want kids to continue to move forward, to leave here, to have better lives, a chance at experience more in life.
I see myself working as a personal chef or at a country club.
Hopefully in a year from now, when I graduate from here, I want to work at the Monterey Plaza Hotel.
A call from a student from a year or two ago and hear that they're doing well at another school. And when the chefs from those places call me and say, hey, your student is doing great, it just makes my day.